Good morning, everyone. My name is Miss Langa, and today I'm going to be presenting a lesson for you guys. The lesson is going to be on a dialogue, and it's just interesting how we're all talk every day. We talk to our friends, talk to our brothers and sisters, and I'll bring you guys this lesson brought to you by STEM Lockdown Digital School. Like I said before, I'm Miss Langa. As you can see my banner over there. I'm going to be teaching you guys English, and we're going to be doing a dialogue. The picture you see on the screen is of a guy and a girl, and the guy is saying, "You look cute today," and the girl says, "Thanks." At the end of the lesson, you will know what a dialogue is. You will know the differences between a dialogue and an interview. You will learn the writing features of a dialogue. You will write an interesting dialogue. You'll know how to organize ideas to write a successful dialogue, and you will present a seamless dialogue in writing. Doesn't that sound fun? I think it does. Let's get right into it. What is a dialogue? If anyone wants to answer, I'm going to give you guys about 2 seconds before I give you guys the answer. It's very easy. A dialogue is a conversation between two or more people. So when you talk to a friend or when you talk to a brother or sister, that's basically a dialogue. But today, like I said, we'll be looking at the writing features of a dialogue. So, in that sense, a dialogue is called a record of exchanges as they occur directly from the speaker's point of view. So basically, when we're writing a dialogue, we're recording a conversation between two or more people. Here's an example. Okay, we have two girls drinking coffee, and we know their names because we have this over here, Lisa and Tina. And here's our little skit. Lisa and Tina are talking about the national lockdown over coffee. Lisa, thank heavens the lockdown is about to end. Tina, I cannot wait to go shopping. The reason I giggled is because I had the word giggle in brackets after Tina's name. And I will explain to you in a few minutes how that works. Before we explain the nitty-gritties of how to write a dialogue, I just want to make it clear between what a dialogue is and what an interview is. An interview is, in many ways, similar to a dialogue. There are a little bit of differences. I will call them major differences in this instance. One speaker probes the other speaker by asking questions. So, what this means is in a dialogue, you're talking without a script. You're talking to your friend, it's very easygoing. Remember Lisa and Tina talking over coffee? In an interview, the one person asks questions to the other. And usually those questions attempt to portray their strong points, their talents, or their weak points, etc. So, for example, if I had to interview Kim Kardashian, I would have a purpose as to why I want to interview Kim Kardashian. And I would ask her questions about her strong points, her talents, or weak points, because maybe those are questions people usually have about that person. Here's an example. And we have a little scenario there first, our little skit. And it reads as follows. Gina, ABC News, interviews Whitney, Food Incorporated CEO, about food parcels donated to vulnerable communities during lockdown. Gina, good day. How many parcels were you able to donate? Before I read the second part of this interview, I want you guys to notice how the interviewer is asking questions to the interviewee. This is what we mean by probing questions. And she's asking how many food parcels she was able to donate with me. Good day. About 250,000 food packages were donated. So you can see a dialogue and an interview is not too different. They are very, very, very similar. Okay. A few learners are saying they can't see anything. Let me see. I hope we are all on par. Are we all on par? Can we all see? Awesome. Right. Let's move on to our next slide. If you have any questions as I move along, please make sure to ask those questions, right? And then we'll move on as I explain a dialogue in an interview. Our next slide. Okay, Karen is raising her hand. Karen, you can ask a question in the chat if you have a specific question. Okay, it's an accident. Right, let's move on. Right, so now we're moving on to how to write a dialogue, right? And here we have when writing a dialogue. So these are the things you have to look out for when you are writing a dialogue. Remember, we spoke about how dialogues work and how they are recordings of conversations between two or more people? Yes. So now we're going to be looking at how exactly do we write this record. The first point, write the names of the characters on the left-hand side of the page. There, I've given you guys an example. The name Siphon is on the left-hand side of the page and it's written down. The next point says, use a colon after the name of the character who's speaking. A colon, can you see those little two dots? It's a punctuation mark. We use it immediately after the name that is written on the left-hand side of the page. And whenever a new speaker is speaking, we skip a line. And those crosses there in between conversations between Tembio and Siphon indicate that a line has been skipped. Are we all on par? Awesome. Next slide. When writing a dialogue, you advise to characters or readers on how to speak or present the action must be given in brackets before the words are spoken. If you remember in the beginning of our presentation, I had a giggling for Lisa and Tina. In this instance, we have Tembio, and they say wearing a frown. So this now sets the scene or gives us the action of the person that is speaking. So if I had to act out a dialogue, for example, the words in brackets would give me an indication as to how I am to act out this dialogue. So in this instance, let's quickly look at our example at the bottom. Tembio, if you were Tembio or you were acting out Tembio's role, you would know that at this point you are supposed to wear a frown. Not literally wear a frown, but figuratively wear a frown. Are we all on par? And the last one, sketch a scenario before you start writing. This is the most important. Before you write your dialogue, before you say, Bob, hi, Gina, how are you? I need to know, or you need to sketch out what exactly is going on between Bob and Gina. This will direct you, or this will direct your dialogue. Let's try it together because it can be a bit tricky. Right, so I'm going to open another document if it opens successfully. And in this document, I want to show you guys exactly how you lay out your dialogue. So let's say in this instance, we have the characters Pearl and Cindy, right? These are our characters. Okay. Pearl and Cindy. Who wants to suggest what's going on between Pearl and Cindy? I'll give you guys about 5 seconds. What are Pearl and Cindy doing? Okay, no one is willing to answer that. So I'll just move on quickly. Oh, there we go. Okay, we still have learners. They're looking for something. Okay, so Pearl and Cindy are looking for something. Okay, Pearl and Cindy are in the park looking for a cat. Right? This is what we would refer to as our scenario. This is the first thing you write before you write the actual dialogue. And this sets the scene for what this dialogue is going to be about. Are we all together? Okay, there are learners who say they can't see anything. Let me try and sort it out for you guys quickly. Are there any other learners who can't see? It's stuck. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to be on par. Nothing is showing on your side. Okay. Give me a few seconds and then I'll be back with you guys just now. Can we all see the screen now? The Word document?
FAL?
Hello?
Yes, when you move to a different document, you need to stop the screen sharing and then restart the screen sharing again.
Okay, okay. Got it.
Okay.
Right. Are we all on this document now? We had a few technical difficulties. Are we all on par? Can we all see the presentation? Can we all see what's going on the screen? Just waiting for a few learners to give me some responses. You can see it. Awesome. Okay, let's quickly go back to this, right? The last slide that I had on the presentation was setting the scene and knowing how to write your dialogue successfully. So like I said, we had two characters, Pearl and Cindy, and one learner suggested that Pearl and Cindy would be in the park. So Pearl and Cindy are in the park looking for a cat. And we've set our scene, right? If we remember carefully, all of our characters are supposed to go on the left-hand side of our documents. So we'll start here with Pearl. Remember, after your character name, you're supposed to add a colon, right? And let's say Pearl in this instance is crying. And Pearl would be crying because she cannot find her cat. Right. So if you look at it carefully, right, I've set the scene. Pearl and Cindy are in the park looking for a cat. And we have our first character, Pearl, colon, crying, I cannot find my cat. Right. Let's give Cindy some character as well. Cindy's name goes on the left-hand side, colon. Let's say maybe Cindy's laughing, which is not very nice. Do not worry. We will find it. Right. So now we have Cindy and Pearl at the park looking for a cat. We've set the scene. Pearl crying, I cannot find my cat. And Cindy laughing, do not worry, we will find your cat. Right. Let's quickly go back to our PowerPoint presentation. Okay. Our next slide is planning. So how do you plan for your dialogue? It's very easy. The first thing is you provide information. Second thing is you describe the place and the character. You create suspense or conflict. If you remember our example a few minutes ago, we were talking about Pearl and Cindy and how Pearl was looking for her cats, right? But Pearl couldn't find her cats and Cindy was laughing at her, right? And that would create some type of conflict and suspense. Then you create a sense of time, you move the story forward, and you tie up the loose ends. Just a quick question. Are we all still on par? Are there any questions any learners may have? Okay, let's move on. Right, we had another example here on Steeple and Tembio, and I will share the example with you guys later on, but let's move on to our next slide. Right, so we are going to first practice writing our own dialogue, okay? And the essay question or the dialogue question in this instance will be, you have been invited to your best friend's birthday party. However, the party is on the same evening as a family gathering. Questions, questions. What would you then do in this instance? If you think about it carefully, let's go back to our previous slide. You would write the names of the characters on the left-hand side of the page. Use a colon after the name of the character who is speaking. Use a new line to indicate the new speaker. And you would advise to the characters on how to speak or present actions. And this must be given in brackets before the words are spoken. And you will sketch a scenario before you start writing, like that example we have there. Right. Let's go back to another example quickly so I can show you guys exactly how to write a seamless dialogue. Right, so we're on this PDF document now, right? And it says, see example below. Right. Ooh, we're having a bit of some technical issues. But we'll be back on it just now in a few seconds. And okay, give me 1 second. Stop share. Okay, let's try and find our PDF documents again. There we go. Here is our dialogue. And we have this example of Siphon and Tembio. So it says Siphon and Tembio have not completed. Okay, it seems to not work, but it's okay. Let's go back to our PowerPoint presentation and continue with our task. Right, so you have been invited to your best friend's birthday party. However, the party is on the same evening as a family event or gathering. Like I said, you have decisions. And usually young people would rather be with their friends than their family. And you'll realize later in life that you'd rather be with your family than your friends. So your task now is to write a dialogue between yourself and your mother or father in which you attempt to persuade him or her to allow you to miss the family events or gathering and attend the party. Fun, right? Your dialogue is supposed to be between 150 to 200 words. You're in grade 10 now, so you're not going to be writing 100 words and presenting it anymore. Before you write down or once you've written down your dialogue, you can use this checklist to check whether you have completed all of the things that we had to complete for this task, right? Let's look at this checklist one more time. The character names are on the left-hand side. Okay, nothing is showing on the screen. I'm so sorry. Can we all see now? Are we all on par? Okay, let me go back a few slides back so we can all be on par. Let's try this one more time, and hopefully this time we will leave with a bang. Practice your own dialogue, okay? And we have been given this essay question. You have this dialogue question. You have been invited to your best friend's birthday party. However, the party is on the same evening as a family event or gathering. Decisions. Once again, you're supposed to write the dialogue between yourself and your mother or father in which you attempt to persuade him or her to allow you to miss the family event or gathering and attend the party. You are supposed to write a dialogue of 150 to 200 words. In order to ensure that you are successful in writing this dialogue, you are supposed to use this checklist afterwards. Are we all still on par? Do I have any other questions? Do I have questions? Can we all see the screen? Awesome. Okay, so you can use this checklist for self-assessment. The first one says character names are on the left-hand side, yes or no? A colon after each character's name, yes or no? A new line to indicate a new speaker, yes or no? Action in brackets after the colon, yes or no? A scenario to set the scene before the dialogue, yes or no? And once you've written down your dialogue and you feel confident enough about submitting it, you can email me all your dialogues to langa.pearl@gmail.com. So I'm going to give you guys about a minute to ask me any other questions, okay? Or to go back to any other slide that I might have missed or where you found to have had difficulties understanding. We've had a lot of technical difficulties today, but it's okay. And I'll be taking any hands for a minute. Okay. No questions. Right. Let's look at our takeaway messages. Remember, a dialogue is a record of a conversation between two or more people. So you cannot have or possibly have a dialogue on your own. You would have to speak to somebody in order to have a successful dialogue. Number two, we do not use quotation marks when writing the record of a dialogue. We only use quotation marks when we are directly quoting something. But when we write dialogues, we are writing a record of what was said. And if you follow the specific writing points that I've just given you, you will know that you do not use quotation marks when writing a dialogue. The format of a dialogue is similar to that of an interview. Right. So when you are writing an interview, writing a record of an interview, just know that it will be similar to how you write a record of a dialogue. And the last big one, always plan before writing your dialogue. Remember that slide that we went through about how to plan for your dialogue? Let's quickly recap. It says you must provide information. So give me the characters. Who are your characters in your dialogue or your interview? Describe the place and character. Where are they? What are they doing? Create suspense or conflict. What is happening between these two or more characters? Create a sense of time. Is it in the morning? Is it in the evening? Where are they exactly? Move the story forward. So don't just leave your dialogue at hi, how are you? I'm fine, thanks, and you, right? Make sure that your story develops and always make sure to tie up the loose ends when you are writing a dialogue. So now before I close up quickly, I want us to read the dialogue that has been giving me an issue opening. Okay? And it's between Tembio and Siphon. Let me quickly find the dialogue for you guys so we can read it together. Right, here it is. Let me zoom it in a bit for everyone to see. Okay, I think we have a question. All right, let me answer your questions. Okay, Orion, you had a question? Dialogues are usually for marks. Someone just asked, I don't know if it's for marks, but dialogues are for marks because you are asked to write dialogues in paper 3 of your English papers. So in paper 3, you are given different writing genres, right? And dialogues are usually part of the different writing genres that you were given. Any other questions? It is not for marks now, but it will be very helpful if you do the work in your book, right? So that when schools eventually reopen, you are on par as to what you have to do. Is everyone ready to read the dialogue between Saifan and Tembio? I just need one yes and we'll go continue. Please email it to me once you've done it. Okay, this will make sure that you keep yourself on track with getting your schoolwork done. Right. Don't take these lessons for granted. If you do this task and you email me your task, you are only a step closer to ensuring that you have a successful academic year this year. Right, so I see everyone is ready to read the dialogue between Siphon and Tembo. I will share my email address with you guys before I end off this lesson just now. It is due today because we have another lesson coming up tomorrow. All right. Siphon and Tembo have not completed a task given to them by their teacher. They are contemplating bunking class. Siphon. Good morning, Tembo. Tembo wearing a frown. There is nothing good about this morning, my friend. I hope yours is better. Siphon. If it is about the writing task we're expected to submit today, then you are not alone. Tembo with a twinkle in his eyes. You know what? Siphon. I do not have to know anything. I know what that look means. Tembo. Do you know me that much, my friend? You know that they say what they say about desperate measures. Why don't we bunk class? We can cook a better story to explain our absence than to sit in class and to be told the failures we are. Don't bunk class, guys. This is just an example. Siphon. Just why did I choose you for a friend? You have more tricks up your sleeve than the devil himself. Bunk class? My answer is an emphatic no. I made my bed, so I must lie in it. Timbo. Okay, Mr. Morals. Let's see what Elizabeth, with whom you are so smitten, will think of you after the dressing down you'll receive in class. Ooh. When is the English period again? I think I've spoken enough English today to miss out today's. Timbo with the victorious smile. And I thought I was the devil. Siphon. Do you have to rub it in? Timbo with a grin on his face. By the way, you better have a good reason for our missing the class for the teacher tomorrow, otherwise Lisbeth. Siphon resignedly. I should have quoted the devil himself. So we've read this dialogue together, and you can see that the story develops. Timbo and Siphon are contemplating banking class, and in the end, Siphon agrees to banking class because he doesn't want to be embarrassed in front of his friends. Does everyone get this example? I hope we all did. Let's go back to our PowerPoint presentation. Right, here we are. A lot of learners were asking me for my email address for the task. Let me make it available for everyone to see. Are we all back on the presentation? Just quickly checking if we're all back here. Awesome. Right. So here's my email address. It's langa.pearl@gmail.com. And I'll say this again, langa.pearl@gmail.com. Do we all have my email address? Awesome. Right. Okay, now let's tie up the loose ends of my lesson. If you need more help, you can check out the links below. The first two links are a PowerPoint presentation talking about dialogues and how to write a dialogue and why we write dialogue. And the last one, a past paper here, is a paper 3 from grade 9. So a little bit of revision as to what you need to know when you are writing a paper 3 examination. Are we all on par? Before I wrap up today's lesson, do I have any questions from any learners in the class? I'll give you guys about a minute for any questions that I need to answer. My email address. Let's go back to my email address. There are people who have not seen my email address as yet. Okay, there it is. It's Langa, LANGA .PEARL@gmail.com. Okay. What I will do with the links to the YouTube videos, I will share them with you just now on the group chat so that we can all access these. Right. So you can quickly just copy and paste it. Right. There you go. That's the first link. And there we have the second link. Those are for the YouTube videos. Right. And then here is a link to a past question paper. Did we all get the links? Let me share the link to a past question paper quickly. Do we all have that? Just a yes or a no will give me an indication as to where everyone is at this point. Awesome. Let's quickly look at what we'll be looking at tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys, for being so helpful. All of your comments and the messages have kept me going. Right, tune in again tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be looking at language structures and conventions, the skill, and our topic will be Concord, a very interesting topic. Make sure you tune in at 11 o'clock, right? And I will give you guys all of the nitty gritties as to how to find your way around Concord. If you have any other recurring questions, or you want to ask me more questions, or you want to send me your dialogues, whatever, you can find me via my email address, langa.pearl@gmail.com. You can also follow us on social media at African Teen Gigs. You can follow me on Twitter at Pearlings, and you can search me on Facebook, Pearling Langa. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in today. Thank you so much for bearing with me throughout the technical issues. I hope you guys found this lesson fruitful. STEM Lockdown Digital School rocks. Thank you.